Uh, you're live. I'm live. That's encouraging, isn't it? Okay, well, here we are. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. This is a learning process. Okay, there we go. Hi everyone, anyone who's watching. Even if no one's watching, I'm happy to do this because, first of all, just put those up while I don't need them. Welcome to Across the Pond and Back. I'm Steffi, and it's my joy and my blessing to be here. And I'm just curious to see how this thing works. Even just setting it up and thinking of doing it, you get to learn quite a bit. So, as I was pondering doing this evening, and today for my over the cross the ponders, my peeps over there, as I fondly call them, my hi to all my friends across there. I dearly miss you all. Everyone that knows me knows that I miss them. I've made some good friends here, actually, a good few friends, I would say, a few good men, like the movie. So, yeah, I've been blessed with some nice friends, but I digress. My main point of doing this very first one, I was hoping to have my across the pond on there. And of course, it picked up on me going live and it just started to play, which was really funny. I didn't think of that. But, us 50 plus people, we haven't grown up with all this tech stuff. And, but I'm proud to be here. And I hope that anyone older isn't put off by the younger set with all their razzmatazz and their brilliant razzmatazz videos, because all I'm pleased for them. I really am, and I'm glad that they can do it all. But for us, it's a learning process as we get older, especially, and even just before me getting online here, I had to refresh my memory about how am I going to do this. So I know probably anyone who's like 20 or 30 may laugh at that, probably do. But anyway, I'll be glad to see anyone on today. In the meantime, as I wait to see if anyone joins us today, there was a video I was going to make anyway. So I think I'll just chat about that. And then anyone who wants to watch this at a later date can hopefully enjoy some content tonight. So it's Friday night and welcome. So I was going to do a shorter video about the things that I miss. Well, not so short, actually. There's some things that I really miss about the USA or American things. And so I wanted to just share with you some things that I miss. Guess what the number one is? It begins with S and ends in N. So I know you're not first graders, so obviously you can work out that that's sun. And I really, really miss it. It's not just a case of it's bright and cheerful. It's a case of the actual physical benefits and the emotional benefits that you get from the sun. So as the time has gone on since I've been here, I've noticed I've just been missing it more this winter. Last winter, I was sharing with my daughter the other day that it wasn't so bad in the first winter when I came back in May 2023. And that first winter was not too bad at all. It was just simply, it is what it is here in England. And I remember that well. I grew up with it. So, hey, that's the breaks. There's some Americanisms there, isn't there? But yeah, so on we went into 2024. So by the time I got to 2024 winter, started to really, really kick in. And I wasn't even looking for it. I really haven't been, actually. I've been pretty positive. The people that know me, I've been looking on the bright side. of the not so bright English sky. And so I really have been working on that because I wanted to make a good go of being in England. I didn't want it to be a case of, hey, this is 6 months later. Oh, no, I didn't want to give up. And I don't feel like I'm giving up if I make this big U turn, which I'm planning on making soon. But anyway, I am just so glad to be able to share with you guys. I've noticed a pattern on YouTube actually that someone can make a video years ago, and then all of a sudden someone's looking up something a few years later and they pick up on that video, which is really amazing, isn't it? So even if I didn't get very many views now, I'm actually very, very interested to see where, excuse me while I rearrange my hair because it's a little bit wild tonight. I just washed it from work, and where am I going? Here. So that's a little bit better, but it's a bit frizzy actually. I'm looking a bit frizzy today. So yeah, the sun, emotional, physical benefits of the sun, and just the cheerfulness of it, plus the fact that you can't hardly plan anything without the sunshine. Even getting a new deck out there at my house, I've hardly used it because it's just too cold. So I'm just going to put my specs on here because I'm now in that area of my life. Hi, Cindy and Len. Bless you. Hi from Michigan. That's really wonderful. And hi, Tamara and Michael Mayo. So neat to have Tamara and Michael as my friends. And actually, Len is now a new friend of mine I consider him my friend. We don't know each other very well, but we've met on YouTube. And it sure is a pleasure to see you here. So I hope that I'm not rambling too much. I'm talking this evening about some things that I really miss about the USA. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be very glad to see them and we can chat about those. Tamara and Michael are in the Pensacola area and where I lived for 18 years. It's just amazing to me. 18 whole years. So are you guys wearing glasses? Bit curious to know that too. Not really on on the subject, but let me know what you think about wearing glasses because I keep hearing different things about wearing glasses. Oh, hi from where is that? Is that Broadstairs? Not sure where that's coming from. You do wear glasses. Yeah. So I guess they're a blessing, but I have heard different things like, they can actually make your eyesight worse in the long run. But I found that a curious thing that I don't wear glasses for, say, cooking or driving, but I do need them when I'm looking at the screen. So it's a different kind of thing with our eyes, isn't it? So so the sun is one major, major thing. And I could fuss about that all night, but I'm not going to because I knew that moving back to the UK, I'd have some kind of lack of sun. So I do miss that. I don't know whether my skin looks worse, better, or about the same, but I do take extra vitamin D. And I've noticed that does help. It really does, actually. I got some pack, a really good value pack of vitamin D. So the next thing I was going to mention to you guys was that now this sounds really quite self-centered, and it is actually. It's a self-centered thing. It's not anything major at all in the world. There are many, many huger things than this, but I do actually miss Americans. They would often say to me so many times, I wish I had $1 for every time they asked me this, but they used to say, I love your accent. And they would say, where are you from? Now, I'm not mocking their accents. I'm just trying to copy in my mediocre way. But they, especially working at the airport, I work for American Airlines and United Airlines, as well as my in between my teaching career. So you can imagine at the airport, lots of people asking me, where are you from? And they usually thought I was from Australia, actually, which I don't know whether any Brits have ever had that before, going to America or somewhere else, but they often thought it was. Thank you, Tamara. That's probably you, isn't it? I still love your accent, Giselle. That's so sweet. She's such a sweet friend, and always makes me feel better when I talk to her. Always. So yeah, I am amazed that I have got a little bit of a American accent. You know, somebody said recently they heard a twang, but that's about as much as I've ever got over here. Is, oh yeah, I notice a twang, you know. But do you think that I have an American accent in any shape or form? Nobody over here seems to pick up on it unless I actually mention that I was from Florida or I lived in Florida. But then they say, "Oh yeah, yeah, I can tell, you know, a little bit." Anyway, so that is definitely something. I told you it's self-centered. But I miss that because I think we all like a little bit of we like a little bit of special attention sometimes, don't we? You know, it doesn't make us totally selfish people, but I guess it just means that we're human. We like that, don't we? We like someone just, you know, make a little bit of fuss about us sometimes. And I, again, I wasn't really looking for it. It was just more like a normal thing over there. So, I'm wondering if Tamara minds if I share what she, if you just let me know, Tamara, and I'll share it. But what you're writing. But yeah, my where are you from and my accent was such a common occurrence, and it was really a lovely starting point to conversations because then they'd say, "Oh yeah, I know London," or "I know." Southampton, or I know Wales. I've been over there, and quite a few Americans have been over there or over here in the military. And so, yeah, I don't like my fuzzy hair. Sorry, I'm just fussing with myself. Oh, I should have blow dried it a little bit more. So, anyway, oh, she says she got Canadian. Ah, yes. Well, my friend Tamara does come from Canada originally, and she absolutely loves it in Florida. And I know why, and she really enjoys the sun and the beach and everything. Of course, they're the two main things that I miss as well. And so, yeah, she used to get asked that. I think that's what you're saying, isn't it? You get Canadian, eh? So, oh, it's just amazing, isn't it? Now, please, you are my, with all due respect and great love to you all, the ones who are listening tonight, you're my guinea pig livers, okay? So you're my very first, this is my very first live ever. And so I really would like it to go down in YouTuber history, so to speak, as, you know, whatever, a mediocre one or an okay one or whatever. Please let me know about the sound because I am thinking of getting an external microphone for these kinds of things. I have got a Mac Pro that I'm doing this on, and I'm thinking that it was probably okay. I have looked it up, but it might be better with something else. So we got to do our best, haven't we? In our generation to and then of course even 40 plus, you know, those guys there, or Tamara is in maybe nearing that little age bracket there, but she's grown up with technology a lot more than I have, but still, you know, it's still pretty new. And so anyway, I really want to know how this is going so I can improve on it the next time. That's what I'm really saying. And even the way that I'm looking, any kind of thing, you know, you can please be my teachers and my feedback, please. So I'm wondering who SSRP is. I'm just curious, but don't have to say anything if you don't want to. But I'm just very, very glad that you're here and I can wrap it on a little bit and share. Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, so one of my friends, the one from Michigan's just said he calls me his faraway friend, which we actually are, aren't we, Michigan? Yeah. Do you know, I used to forget completely. This is another aspect of my journey as an expat over in the USA. It's something that we may not even think about, we might not think twice about, is when I used to talk to my dear mum over here. I used to talk to her a long, long time on the phone. It's just something we wanted to do, or I wanted to do. I had a special package from T-Mobile. Let's shout out to T-Mobile because they are pretty good, I think, on the whole. And they did a really nice package for $15 a month where I could call England endlessly. It was just brilliant. Really, really good value for money. That's about 11 pounds in British pounds. But so I used to talk to her every day almost, and the line was so clear. It was hopefully clearer than or the same as what we're doing here. But we were amazed, and then we used to think about all those thousands of miles that we were talking. So I'm just still in awe of it now. I'm just amazed how we managed to have those conversations, and there were hardly any problems. Occasionally we used to get a little bit of interference, or it used to drop or something, but very rarely, considering there's many, many miles between us. And then, of course, when you fly over there, you realize just how far it is. So, oh, that's good. Tamara thinks it's the sound and picture good. Oh, okay, well, that's encouraging. Okay, all right. Okay, so the sun and people asking me about my accent, forgive me for that little bit of self-indulgence there, but I do miss it. It goes in my list. Okay, smiles. Because over here, I have to say, and it's come over in my videos probably, that's part of what I'm doing here, is looking at my journey and my journey back to England as a repat, as an expat, going over there, coming back here, and coming back over to the USA. I've had a chance, like an insider's view, isn't it really, on coming back to England as an English person, but not English anymore in certain ways. And so my video about, I came back to England and after 18 years, and I hope that people enjoyed that as a little insight, because it really is, that's the real picture here. People they're just not very friendly. And I love my country in terms of being loyal to them. And I don't mean them any harm or meanness, but they're not very friendly. And I got used to people over there in our neighborhood walking around. I got used to it. At first, I was a little bit actually shy or a little bit reticent of people smiling, big smiles, and hey, how are you doing? But over here, you're fortunate if you get a little bit of a look like morning. And you usually don't even get good morning. Now, I understand, I'm generalizing here, because if you take like 100 people all around me here, it might be that those people have, they have great issues in their life or problems. I don't know. And I'm certainly not making fun of them. It's an observation that I live with around here. You've either got unhappy looking people, you've got quiet people or reserved people, and then you've got the grouches and the crabby people on the roads. The roads are the worst. Now, let me know what driving is like in the USA, please. Do you have grouchy drivers over there? I couldn't remember too many when I was in Pensacola, Florida. Of course, you have to be, doing your part, otherwise you get a beep. But to me, it didn't seem so bad. You'd look over and you'd see people listening to music or chatting, and they're kind of minding their own business. And if you took, like an extra second or so at the green light, okay, well, that's it. But over here, it's nanosecond and beep if you don't move. So grouchy people, I won't miss, and happy people I do miss. So to be fair to English people, I guess they don't get the sun, and maybe they've got more economic problems. I don't know. I'd love to know really what's going on in the mind of some English people. And I'm saying English because I have a friend who lives in Wales. So I don't know whether you know where Wales is, but it's all connected. So we've got English, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. They're all very, very individual, even though we often collectively say United Kingdom. But yeah, so what's that? People texting. Yes. Oh, well, over here, I have to say, even though it's a little bit, I don't know what the word is. It's quite strict with the phones, but of course, safety wise, that's a good thing, isn't it? So I guess we've all got used to getting into our cars and having our phones available for whatever, GPS or something else. But yeah, texting is a huge issue, isn't it? Over here, you can get, I think we get a hefty fine, we get 3 points on our license, and maybe other things too. So they're really, really strict over here with the yeah, with that. And I think it's a good thing on the whole. I don't know what they're like. Maybe it varies in different states over there. And that's something that uh I've learnt. So, of course, as a baby little expat coming over to Florida, I didn't know that. So that's another subject, actually, that maybe I should make a video about that. But basically, in a nutshell, I didn't know that the different states had different banks or supermarkets, things like that, or other things, or even local taxes and things like that, because I got so used to living in the United Kingdom where everything is all the same, with the exception of Scotland, which the Scots often like to rearrange the laws and have their own say in the matter, which is their prerogative. But they're still part of the United Kingdom. So for the most part, we have the same banks, we have the same school system and stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing that's pretty different. The speed traps. Oh, what's that? How are the speed traps and photo radar tickets over there? Yeah. Is it like that in Canada, Tamara? Because over here, yeah, that's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up, because over here, wow, there's speed. Well, I don't know whether the cameras are around, but the signs are. And so if there's a sign, there's usually a camera. It's a bit like, smoke and fire, but we have to assume that there are here, because I can't go out on a trip to a school without seeing dozens of pictures with speed cameras. Over where I was in Florida anyway, used to see them, but they were quite few and far between. And actually, my American hubby Tom, I think I asked him that one day or mentioned it, and he said, "Well, over here we've got a much more, spacious lands. They just can't afford to monitor it. They're not going to be able to film it that much." Oh, is it? It's really super bad in Canada. It's a cash cow. Totally agree. It's what it is here too. Yeah, thank you for that too, because I just think that sometimes, if we're going at, dare I say, it's like 33 and it's 30, you know, give us a break, please. Really, I'm not saying they stop people for 3 miles over, but I think you get my drift there, that it's extremely touchy over here with speed. I suppose you could say that it's because it's linked to being a little island and more people, more cars, lots of cars. I mean, tons of cars in a small area on these little lanes as well. I'm thinking of doing a kind of video soon, and I have to say it's going to be a little bit imitating my friend Len's video. Now, Len, I'm talking about your recent video where you did that amazing, you filmed your journey to your the lodge or the country cabin that you had with your dear wife. don't want to upset you mentioning it, please, but it was a beautiful video, and you videoed the whole journey, and then you put some music and scripture up there, or something like that, and it was just so amazing. I really, really enjoyed that video, so thank you. And so I was thinking of imitating that somewhat and putting it on, my own style on that, but I was thinking of doing that so that some of my American friends can see a bit more of the countryside while I'm here and get a bit more flavor of that, because there are some amazing areas in England, and I'm sure different parts of the world, like Tamara coming from Canada, and my best friend from school as well. She's in New Zealand right now. Hope she doesn't mind me mentioning that, but she has some beautiful places there. I mean, amazing country. If you ever get to have the chance to go to New Zealand, and I wouldn't mind going there either. But I think that's a trip that I have to wait for. If I work for the airlines again, I can maybe get a free flight, or flights with taxes paid or whatever. So you guys are being so sweet joining me today. It's just amazing to me that I can actually have a little chat with you. I do feel like energized by this. And yeah, please keep giving me feedback. So another thing that I miss is actually the food, even though you know, I'm not a junk foodie, and I wasn't all the time I was there, actually, because my hubby and my yeah, love to go to New Zealand. So my hubby and my son, who grew up in Florida, they both were very American in their tastes, and they would often, oh, can we just stop at a famous burger joint and uh, and get a burger? Well, what do you say? So they used to stop and get theirs, and then I would go home and get my own thing at home, and they were just like, well, what? Aren't you going to get a burger, Mum? But I miss the variety of being able to choose. Say if we do want to go to a Vietnamese restaurant, or if we now there are those here, but usually end up having to go to London or a bigger town. And also just the tastiness of the food. I think I agree with my son that British food is, yes, it is healthier. That's another subject, but they do definitely have a healthier level of food here. The things like the bread, particularly. I've noticed that bread goes off way, way quicker than if you buy bread in the USA, and that's because. Oh, Michael mentioned how healthy I am. Thank you. Yeah, thank God. But I think that comes from blessing of God and keeping away from certain junk foods. I'm not down on junk food. If people want to eat it, that's fine. I mean, that's their choice, and they enjoy their food. And food's largely here for us to enjoy, isn't it? But yeah, I miss that environment where if you do want to, you go to. Shall I mention it or not? I don't know. But a famous restaurant in Pensacola, well, pretty famous there. They were just kind of getting going when I left, actually, and they do amazing English fish and chips, by the way. But this British restaurant and things like that, novelty things that here it's pretty much straight down the line. Fish and chips are amazing, by the way. That's definitely something I would miss if I came back over there. But what do you say? It's a case of you have to weigh up everything. I literally made a chart recently of pros and cons for each country to live in, of course. And I'm blessed that I can actually choose to do that. Here in the UK, I know there's a kind of growing number of people who are actually seriously thinking of leaving, because sadly, the economic stuff is really hitting people hard, but also the weather and prospects and things. So I get it, I really do. But for me, I'm blessed to be able to choose, and I just feel like it's beneficial and good thing for me to come back which is interesting when I use that phrase. Don't you think that's interesting? Because I'm coming back to the USA, where really shouldn't it be leaving here and going over there? It's a psychological way. I think that my, having lived there, it's become my home, or my second home, come home, if that makes sense. So yeah, I miss yes, just to answer your questions, lovely questions, Tamara, thank you. Or Michael, I don't know who's there. But I miss certain seafood, not so much I'm not really a big shrimp lover. My hubby was. But I do like, again, it's nice to have the choice, isn't it? And if I do want some fresh local fish like grouper, that's good, isn't it? And going to that big fish market in Pensacola was really fun. Really, really nice. Yeah, to see the fish. And actually, sadly, I have to say, when that was something that I remember us having in our family, more fresh fish. And now the fish is just so expensive here. I don't know what it's like in the US, but it's just terribly expensive. And so you have to think carefully about buying your fish. I try and get fresh salmon, real salmon. Right, what else? The beach. I totally miss the beach. I have pictures on my wall. I have a little a vitamin C picture with some pictures of a couple of really good friends of mine, my daughter, and just being on the beaches. So that is definitely something I'm going to look forward to doing when I get back. So that's really a major factor in determining where I go in the USA when I come back. So I have dear friends in the area that I was, and the beaches and the sun. Whew. Any more things that anyone would like to ask? Thank you, Len, for telling me that I'll do great. It's just really, really been an encouragement for me. Even if we just leave right now, I'm glad that I did this. Okay. Here, I'm a bit disappointed that I couldn't keep my screen on, but that was so funny at the beginning. If you want to replay it, if you didn't see it, I was hoping that it would stay, on the still screen, and it started playing. So I'm learning. I'm on my tech journey here, and I hope you'll join me on this tech journey. So Len, if you don't mind sharing how we kind of connected on YouTube, I'll be glad to share it. If you don't want to, that's completely fine, because I really appreciate you being here. But as you know, anyone who might be watching this and in the future, I was widowed in 2022, and it's now coming up to, well, it'll be 3 years in October, so say 2.5 years. So I do feel like I've been on several simultaneous journeys, and this is a lot of the reason why I wanted to start my channel. Okay, so I'm doing a channel. I hope my intro video is okay. It could be much better, I know, but of course that was my very first baby video on YouTube ever. And so I was trying to encapsulate the different aspects of what I plan to speak about. And as I get on this journey of doing my return to being an expat, but of course I am US citizen, so I guess I can call myself going home person now. But I'm going to chronicle, I'm going to document my journey. So I am going to add a little bit into my journey over here, but mostly going back. So I'm going to give some practical advice to any Brits, especially wanting to do it. It is harder for the average Brit, by the way, because they have to, get visas or sponsored or something. So that's another one for another time. But I'm happy to give tips on that. But so Len was widowed, and he has an excellent channel, and now I can't remember the channel's name, but I can sure put it in the notes down below. But I was wanting to subscribe to his channel because his from the very start. He had a very tender, heartfelt sharing. And then I think the first video that, tell me if I'm wrong, Len, but your first one was about not too long after your wife left you. So I just want to say again that I totally are with you on the feelings there. I think we all have a slightly different journey. Mine was I had known that this was coming with my hubby for quite a long time. I just didn't know when, and it was a kind of slow decline, but we knew that he was on a decline. So that, in a sense, made it a bit easier, because by the time he did go to be with the Lord, we were all prepared, really. But go away, that frizzy hair. But I just want to thank you all. I don't want to rabbit on too much today. And if you have anything else, please let me know in your comments. And it's been such a privilege to share a little time with you here live. So any feedback, any ideas, let me know. As my first close live audience. I'm privileged to have you all. Anyway, so I don't know how long we've been on, actually. Can someone tell me? Because I don't know. I'll look it up on my phone. 36 minutes. Ugh, wow. So I think that's long enough for now to bother you all. I hope if you're over there in the States, it's what, 20 to 4? So I'm very much still in tune with the American times, and I keep them on my phone, actually. The time in Pensacola, the time here, time in New Zealand, where my other friend is, and there might be another one as well. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. I'm sure you're busy people with other things to do. And I will always remember the people that came and supported me on this very first live for me. It is a big deal for me because, hey, we're not 20 years old and we're not all out there in the techno world. So I really appreciate it. Thank you all. I love you in the Lord, and I will be hopefully seeing you on my channel. Look out for my videos, and I will see you later across the pond and back. Bye.